Good evening and welcome to Mechanics of the Fourth Wall. Joining myself and Antonio Subarats tonight is Rene, who fell off the spinning ball around a year ago. How you doing, Rene?
Fantastic. Just another beautiful day on Planet Love, our stationary love.
Superb, superb. I'm going to check that all the live feed is running happy and everything's working hopefully well while Antonio gives a brief introduction, if you don't mind, Antonio.
Absolutely. Rene joined a hangout that was either held by Robert Shortman or Martin Leaker. I forget which. And he blowed my mind with his pipe playing. He was discussing living healthy, living lovingly, and basically helping people to understand about love and health and happiness, because we live in a world that's so convoluted with hate and fear sells, that the opposite side of the pendulum, the peace and the love, it goes by the wayside. So there's this Aztec who you see standing before you, who lives in California and who's setting things up so he can help people to understand things that the media wouldn't. Well, the media doesn't really enjoy people understanding. Was that good, Rene? Was that a good description?
Yes, fantastic. Yes, I'm just a regular guy. I feel that we were misled throughout our life, our education, our work, our notion of time. Everything has been convoluted. And I feel guilty about it. When I started selling encyclopedias when I was 13 years old in Mexico City in English, and people were buying it. I made a lot of money on that, and I feel guilty about it. That I deceive all these people. I sold them the wrong information. And
So how
now
did you
it's
find out? How did you find out it's not a spinning ball?
it was this guy, Enter the Stars. This guy that has a channel, Enter the Stars, who talked about that. And he talked about being a convex, like the inside autonomy and anatomy of an eyeball, that we are inside of it, and there's the convex, and we're on top of the convex. And I go, well, maybe the curvature formula is wrong, and needs to find out what's going on. But I realized that I needed to do more investigation into it, and then I bumped into Mark Sargent and Patricia Steers, all her interviews, and definitely, it's just confirmation after confirmation, and every day a confirmation.
I have a surprise. I have a small surprise for you.
All right.
Hello. I don't know if you know me, but Patricia Steer, you just mentioned me and I was right over there. And I saw you on the Hangout when you were playing the pipe that you made. And I think it was on Martin Liedke's Hangout maybe 2 months or so ago. And I've subscribed to your channel, so I'm going to enjoy listening in the background, but just wanted to say hi.
Oh, fantastic. It was an honor to have you. You've done such an amazing interviews with amazing people. It feels like a new world to me, having all these new friends and new family, that embraces this new knowledge.
It is wonderful.
Yes.
All right, I'll leave you all to it.
Okay.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, she's cool.
Thank you, Antonio.
Yeah, well, she's like 4 meters over that way on her computer, in the chat, and so
I feel you're one of the luckiest men on flat Earth.
I am. You know what? The best thing, where everybody is the center of their universe. Okay, I am the luckiest man in the flat Earth, and you are the luckiest man in the flat Earth. And Nathan, the same thing. All of us are the luckiest one.
That's right. One of the things, I have the same map you have at the back, and it's a clock. And did you know that the day has 144 minutes? And is in the scale is D. In the scale of a piano is the letter D. So this flute is tuned to to all the synchronicity. Like 48 hours is 288 hertz. 72 hours is 432 hertz. So I'm really encouraging everybody to look into these frequencies because it's reconnecting back to the sun, to the earth, and become.
You're gonna have to explain what do you mean exactly. So you've given a frequency and you've said it's. I didn't catch the number. How many hertz it was? But how do you mean that is the frequency of the week or the day? Sorry, or the
for
2 days?
Okay, let's put it this way: 8 cycles per second. That's the binding force of our molecules. That's what's keeping us together. And then 16, 32, it goes in increments. And 72 beats per minute is the perfect beats. Your heart is at its most relaxed when you're in complete peacefulness. Well, and these are numbers that are hidden. For example, we used to play this music in the 1930s, 432 hertz, which is the same as 8 cycles per second. And they outlaw it, and they didn't want you to play it in symphonies anymore in the 1930s. That was in Germany, and they implemented A at 440. But the real music, the music of this planet love, this stationary flat plane, is 432 hertz. That's one of the biggest secrets, because when you are in that frequency, you're in the state of complete compassionate love and on a gratitude heart. So that's why we have all this notion of the spinning ball to make you feel we're gonna have a meteor hitting us, or alien invading us, or a bacteria killing us. And this music, this frequency even kills bad bacteria in our bodies. So it's all about vibration.
Sorry, I'm going to sound really dumb. So I understand hearing a frequency, but you said being in a frequency. What do you mean?
It's not just about hearing the frequency. It's about also feeling the frequency. You feel the frequency like when you hug your rabbit, or when you hug your loved ones, or when you hug a tree, or when you're sending love to your parents. And that feeling of love, of gratitude, compassionate love, that is the force that keeps us together, the force that you could use telepathy and be connected with another person. It is as simple as that.
So when somebody would say something like, that really resonated with me, you're saying that's literal?
That's correct. Yes, you have to be resonating. You have to keep in mind, you have to pay attention to your feelings every day. Mm-hmm. Because our feelings are always under attack. You have to pay bills, you have to be in charge of so many different things. Every day as you grow older, you got more responsibilities, and now you're getting older, now you're getting sicker. But no, there's not such a thing as all of a sudden our bodies start degrading. I believe that, like, the notion that we could live hundreds of thousands of years in a state of love. But if you're in a state of fear, you're going to start dying. There's nothing to fear. There's a lot of people that are in the closet on the flat earth because they're afraid of what other people are going to say. But you need to empower yourself. We need to help others to empower themselves to get off the spinning ball by giving them tools, what they can use with this new notion, this new findings. Thanks to the internet, we're all connected, and we're finding all these little secrets everywhere. Everybody's contributing. But we need to contribute with giving you practical ways of how to be part of this amazing world. For example, learning about the stars, learning how to use an astrolabe, when to start germinating your seeds, when to start planting, when to start harvesting, to have that knowledge. So, for example, empowering a little child, an 11-year-old boy, teaching them how to use a sundial. He could have a sundial on his wrist and be able to tell the time without an iPhone or without a clock. So this is the type of things we need to start adopting. You know, getting, for example, going to lunch. Not just taking 1 hour, why not 2 hours? You know, whatever feels better for us. And that's what I wanted to do, to teach kids, have more hands-on seminars of how to build their own saxophone, their astrolabe, how to build their own pipes, how to embrace these frequencies, how to pray. Most people pray with the wish of, you know, having something, but praying is more like having it now, being in a constant state of praying that we're already in paradise. I feel we're like the Cinderella story. Cinderella, her father died, and she didn't know that she inherited everything. And on the other hand, she was on her knees scrubbing the floors because the stepmother didn't tell her that she was the one that owned everything. That's the way I see humanity, is that we are the Cinderella story. We inherited everything and nobody told us.
Yeah, you know who the wicked stepmother is as well. It's the TV. So you said earlier about living in fear, and then talked about people potentially living a very long time. And I immediately think about the TV telling you that you are going to live a certain amount of time that I don't know, at the moment they consider 70 or 65 to be old. Whereas this sort of notion is a way of getting you to live in fear without you even realizing it. Most people won't be scared of that notion. They're just totally accepting of the fact that they're getting really old at what might not be it might be a very young age for all we know.
And we see when people accept this idea that you're going to live 65 or 75, when people accept this, as they go through their life, when they get to their 40s, they look at themselves and they notice aging, and they say, yeah, this is going to continue until I'm 60, and then it will have got so much worse. And then every day and every year, you look for that in the mirror, and the mirror presents it to you, because this is what you're expecting. You're stressing yourself into this vision, and the reality reflects it to you. So you have people who are in their 80s and run marathons. And I don't mean people in their 80s who look very frail and can run. I mean people in their 80s who look like gymnasts. People in their 80s that you think, how old is this person? You can't tell how old they are, because they have wisdom in their eyes, but they've got the physique of a freaking gymnast in their 30s, you know? And these are people that have just understood how to see the world differently. And by seeing it differently, it reflects differently on you. So you react with it. The way you act with it and it reacts with you is like instant communication, what Rene's saying.
Definitely. And can I just say, Antonio, for 70, you look amazing.
I know, don't I? And this is what I'm going to look like when I'm 70. Maybe a few more grey hairs, because I think they're going to look really cool, you know? But yeah.
No, you know what? This is a very serious. Humanity is under attack. We are at war, a vicious war. Constant attacks on our children, more vaccinations, more chemtrails, more fluoridation in our water. I mean, we need to defend ourselves. And the way we defend ourselves is by telling the truth. And not be afraid. Everybody that knows that the earth is flat, come out of the closet and help other people jump off the spinning ball. You know, this is serious. Look, I'm gonna be a grandfather in a couple months in January, and I don't think this world is ready to what I want my new generations to embrace. We need to really take a stand and prepare this world for our next generations. We're gonna destroy our world so to bring more children? No, we're gonna make it better. We're gonna prepare this world for our children with knowledge, and we're gonna throw the glove education to the garbage. That's where it belongs. And if I had to go to JPL every weekend and wake up those people, I will do that. I'm trying to wake up everybody. And my wife finally goes, okay, Renee, do whatever. Nobody can stop you. You go right ahead. At the beginning, she had a problem, but she's embracing it, and we're having fun.
What was that about JPL?
JPL, they're about 30 miles from my place, and I've been at their open house, and their control center where they apparently are managing all their satellites, and which is ridiculous. They call it the center of the universe. That they are at the center of the universe, the control center. But we are in the center of the universe. JPL is just a Hollywood production, props, special effects. We know what they are. But these people need jobs, and I think the best job they can have is grow a tree. The best job we can have is grow trees every day.
Well, Renee, some time ago they had a film came out called The Blair Witch Project. Okay, I don't know if you heard about it. It was some years ago, and the hype for this film was amazing because it was a low budget film. Lots of people went to see it. Lots of people were disgusted because there was a lot of nausea from motion sickness. But the hype was really good. It was as if it was grassroots hype. It was very carefully planned. And we've had the same with huge blockbusters where the hype comes out and people see the advert for the film and they're like, oh my God, that's going to be so great. And what JPL do, and NASA and the media, is they do the same with the hype. They say, this meteorite is coming, and they start the hype. Or the Zika virus, and they start the hype. It's the same thing. It's a way of getting people to look forward to something, even if it's negatively, that isn't going to happen. I mean, we're talking films. We're not talking documentaries. We're talking films that are just stories, elaborate stories that engage with the human consciousness through the hype, first of all. And people go predetermined that they're going to enjoy this film or that they're going to be afraid of the financial collapse. Like, no, come on. Let's look out your window, look at the rain.
I wish there was a collapse on this financial system. It's rigged, and we need to, like I said, grow our own food. And if somebody wants to play Monopoly, hey, sorry, we play that game, doesn't work. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. There is. Look, we are getting attacked by people when you expose them to the flat earth. Right away, they defend the glove with insults. And that's what we were programmed to do. I wouldn't approach that subject because sun is so ridiculous. And now I walk my dog and people tell, oh, Renee has a flat earth. I go, yeah, oh, fantastic, And I know they're mocking me because they haven't done the research. But, you keep on telling them, well, how come I can still see Catalina Island from my window? Why can I still see that? How can I see through water?
Or they point at the moon and say, well, you're telling me that's flat too.
Yes. They use misdirection and redirection. That's just...
Exactly. Well, they tell you the moon. I go, well, nobody's seen the other side of the dark side of the moon. They already have... they say that they have taken pictures, but no. Where is a real picture? There's no.
Although you say that, isn't Epic? I'm sure the Jet Propulsion's laboratory have got a hand in that somewhere.
Yes, the Epic.
Well, they'll show you a model of the moon with the dark side of the moon. It's all hypothetical, man. It's like, for example, they told us
hypothetical. It's dreadful. It looks awful.
Yes, it is. It's dreadful.
Yeah, it's nonsense. It's part of they got to continue their narrative. They got to continue the hoax. the assault. I call it an assault on humanity. It's a complete vicious assault on our nature. It's like you walking into a group of natives and you see them that they're in complete harmony with nature, with the rivers. The rivers are pristine. There's fish. Everybody they don't fish a lot. They just and we go. We try to give them paper, and they don't understand. But they force us to all of this. We could go back to a paradise where we don't need to. We could exchange our talents. We could exchange what we produce out of a tree and begin a new world.
People often say when you explain to them how the world could be, people say, well, what? Nobody would do anything. This is what some people automatically say. Well, then if you weren't getting paid, people wouldn't do anything. And you say to them, well, is that what you do when you're on holiday? Do you do nothing? Because the truth is, if your holiday of 2 weeks, you do things. But if that holiday was extended, eventually you would start to dedicate your time to the things that really interest you. And those things have value. It might be collecting a certain type of thing. It might be developing a certain type of tool. Those things, when you dedicate your love into doing something, the thing you do is beautiful. It serves well because your love's there and people value it. And this is what's been curtailed by the globe. It's been replaced with fear and must. Instead of enjoy your life, it's been you must do this for the rest of your life. It's like, wow, they've done a really clever turning off the table, with the card tricks or the cup trick.
Right, so, that's right. Well, we need to continue spreading the war, and it's. I think we're in the millions right now. I used to promote the MMS protocol by Jim Humble. I don't know if you're familiar with Jim Humble.
Yeah, with the MMS protocol, yes.
Yeah, that's right. And that protocol basically gives you more oxygen into your bloodstream. And it kills all the anaerobic pathogens. And you feel all this energy and anyway, it's illegal in the United States to sell that. See, everything that's good, they've made it illegal. As soon as something goes in, we have all this.
Sorry, that might have slipped the viewers past because it certainly slipped me past. What exactly are you talking about? I'm lost. I was shaking my head.
I'm talking about a protocol that the Red Cross implemented to cure malaria. It's called the MMS protocol of Jim Humble. It's an alternative way of cleaning up your system by destroying the anaerobic pathogens, because anaerobic pathogens, this an infection. We have the aerobic and the anaerobics. So it doesn't kill the good bacteria in your body. It only kills the bad bacteria. And they made it illegal, the government, the United States government. And so anything that's good for us, if you hear the government that this is not good for you, guess what? It's good for you. So I
say this about tobacco. The government is always saying it is no good for you. It's like, okay, find me somebody who's more than 100 years old who never smoked.
I know one.
Sorry about that.
So my grandmother's 100 years old. She's never smoked. She doesn't drink. Devout Christian.
Yeah. Yes, but she lived through the. I bet you she lived through the smog era of the coal and wood.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. So she will have had her own resistance, from the things. Rene, I think your camera's gone off.
Oh, there we go.
It's all good. It's all good.
So Rene, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
We spoke about maybe you make me a pipe.
Oh, that's right. Yes. I got your email. I have several that I made already. And this is for I made 12 and I just got to give it to the kids. But I have plenty. This is just PVC and really there's a cork in here. But
so I've got a question then. Sorry, while you've got the flute in your hand. So you said it's 135 hertz. Is that what you said?
432 hertz.
Sorry,
there's-
432 hertz. How do you actually
Yes.
get a flute to be that frequency?
Well, we have different apps that you use to tune a piano or to tune a guitar. You download that app, and then you will cut the first hole. You make the first hole. You put a cork in here, and then you cut the pipe. If it's too long, you cut a little bit as you go decreasing or increasing whatever frequency you need to be in, and it's fine tuning. But now I got a template of how to make everything the same, and it's just people downloading the tuner app and setting it to 432 hertz. If you search 432 music, it's gonna blow your mind. That's one thing. But
This would be the perfect time for you to. I know there's a plane just going over you at the moment, but me and Antle mute. If you can play something, that'd be absolutely brilliant.
I'll play you something. This is something that empowers me a lot, especially when if you can hum the song, you could play it. That's a little bit of it.
Absolutely beautiful. You brought goosebumps. That's my acid test. Get goosebumps. It's amazing. Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Welcome, guys. Yeah. But like I said, we live in a beautiful world, and we need to really get our children out of school, or open up our own flat earth university or flat earth church, and really realign our minds and our children's minds into what's really going on in this world. We are the main event. We are so divine. It is indescribable how amazing we are. We are we creatures of this earth. We are here as caretakers of this world. We gotta become caretakers. Every one of us. Be caretaker of a plant, caretaker of a tree, caretaker of your parents, caretaker of your children, to teach them good talents, practical things, how to nail, how to use a hammer, how to change a window, how to take care of a pet, how to navigate on the oceans, how to build a boat without nails so you can go to the North Pole. I'm fascinated about that. I think I want to get a boat without any nails so we can go there and navigate, because I heard that when you go to this magnetic mountain, the nails will pop out of the boat.
You've reminded me of something that I think is part of the propaganda. So on Spider-Man, they say, with great power comes great responsibility. And what you're describing is the total opposite of that. You're saying, take responsibility and give yourself great power. You know, if you can control the hammer, then you are empowered to create a boat. Whereas they would convince you that it's the other way around, and it's just simply not the case.
That's right. You know, I believe that we are protected under this firmament, and there's a creator, and that is a big responsibility, knowing that there is for real somebody watching. The people used to ask me, do you believe in God? I used to say, well, I'm God, or maybe he's on vacation. But now I know that there is a creator. Seriously, yeah,
This is
a creator.
this is what I think is one of the most important things to teach children, because when children see that the earth is flat, they very quickly figure out that it must have been made. And you can explain to them, yes, you know, they can discover as much about the creator as any adult. You know, they're going to become adults. They're going to dedicate their lifetime to whatever they do. And part of that will be asking questions of themselves. They will be adults. They will be old men and women one day, and they can engage in the whole idea of discovering. And when they see this, then they think, huh, and they start to explain to you how things might work. And when you hear it from children, you think, what degree in philosophy did you take? When
From
have
the
you
mouths of babes, as they say.
Yeah.
That's right. Our empirical mind will solve everything. You know, just we already have all the tools right here. But if we're under fear,
Well, maybe not. I'm going to maybe put you on the spot here, Rene, because a couple of days ago, maybe 5 days ago, we had Jaron on the show, and he explained why you can only draw the conclusion that we have a creator. And I don't know, maybe you'll do it as well, Antonio, but if you can just explain why, because there's certainly people out there that just don't get this.
Why there must be a creator? Well, because when you see that something has a design and a series of forces to engage in the dynamics to bring that design about, be it how a mushroom grows, or a tree, or a mountain, or how the oceans flow, or how hydrogen bonds to oxygen to become water, that these things are there. When you see this, the only conclusion is they're there because they've been put there. They can't have put themselves there into place from nothingness, because they would have no path to follow by which to establish themselves. So there must be something higher that could dedicate itself to establishing the paths for the dynamic energies to follow.
Would you agree with that? Would that be how you put it, Rene?
yes, well, that's the way I put it. Yes, exactly. There is a divine order in things. And that's what I'm talking about, 8 cycles per second, the binding force. If you search, there's a guy called Ananda Bosman. He talks about hadronic mechanics and how this force, they call it a 10 to the minus 13 millimeter, everything collapses. That's the hadronic horizon. And that is when you're in compassionate love, when you're in complete peacefulness, 72 beats per minute, when you relax. And I think that's the same on all living things, all molecules. They even try to do a 3D replica of a seashell, a conch shell, and they realize that for that to exist, it's impossible to do a 3D model of a conch shell. How complicated it is. In order for that to become a reality, a conch shell, just a conch shell, it has to be, even the guy that talked about this won a Nobel Prize, the guy that says that biological beings, anything that's alive, has to function in 6 different timelines. So we're like multi-dimensional. There's different timelines overlapping at the same time to make it happen for us to interact, for plants, for everything. There is this like a web, like a net that is all, it embraces every living thing.
So is that like when somebody says it's like a world of possibilities? Is that kind of what you mean?
That's right. That's right. We're all one. And another thing I wanted to say is that in my culture as an Aztec, my name is not Rene. If you want to know about me, my name is October 2nd, 1965. That's it. What's your name? I am. Oh, I am 10/2nd, 1965. You could go to an astrology chart. I know everything about me by the letter. Like if when I read my astrology, oh wow, they're right on the money. Well, I guess I'm not crazy, because it's a confirmation that the stars are us. So the whole system, they try to tell us that this star is the closest star, Proxima Centauri, is 4 light years away, and it's traveling that way, and that one is 2 billion light years away. Is a bunch of bullshit, because they're trying to disconnect us from what we are in this enclosed world with the fixed stars rotate at 1 degree per hour, and it's telling us the history about us, everything about us. No, if I ask you your birthday exactly and the hour, I'll know everything about you, Antonio. And that's how you treat people. You don't just randomly, oh, you just so and so. No, you learn who these people is, and then you treat it accordingly. You don't just call somebody an idiot or somebody. You have to approach everybody with high respect, with love, compassionate love, and ask them, hey, when is your birthday? And know about it. Get a really intimate relationship with anybody that you meet. He's your brother, he's your sister, and that's the kind of thing we need to come back to natural law. That's very important. Apparently there's new, they call it America Swiss Indo. There's this money. I'm still looking into that.
So what? Again, somebody might hear this term natural law and go, "What does that mean?" So can you give us a second?
Natural law is that you're not supposed to even have a name. Your birthday. That's it. This is a baby comes out, and it's just your son, your daughter. You want to give him a name, and if it was born today, so we give him that date for everybody to honor that baby and respect him. You want to give him a nickname. Oh, there was a bird, when he shows up, we're going to call her Birdie. That's all right. But the most important number is that person is a natural being from this world. It doesn't belong to anybody, doesn't belong to the state, nor the church, or anybody. This is a pure being that has a soul, has an intellect, and is ready to be walk this earth and grow his own food, eat. Doesn't need to be taxed or for anything. It's just a person, a natural person.
So we have
that's what I believe.
We have the natural law, which is you can look at nature and look at what the laws are, and then you can look at yourselves and look at what your laws could be. But we have superimposed the laws of the legal contract world, where things are owned and agreed based on a belief in credit.
It's fear.
It is.
It's fear is manipulation. Look, if we were born with wings, nobody's going to ask us for taxes. Somebody's coming to us, hey, where are your taxes? Hey, you know what? I'm taking off. Yeah. There's the system that is interfering with our natural being of being in this world, that we already live on top of a technology that we put any seed and we get a mango tree, a papaya tree, a nut trees. And that's the natural law. The natural laws is to be part of this domain, to learn how to know where the stars is. Oh, that's my grandmother's star. Or this is, oh, it's time for start planting, to know exactly. In my country, my grandma didn't know she never owned a watch. She knew how to tell when it's going to rain, what time is it, and when to go to bed, when to wake up. And that's once you start getting an alarm clock and the rat race, play the Monopoly game. I play the Monopoly game, I'm ready to give it up.
Well,
You know?
you've both touched on this now a couple of times, and it's really poignant when Antonio put it as the credit system. But yeah, you're spot on. But the engagement with money is in essence our biggest control system, because the people who run the world control the money, and ultimately it's the thing that keeps us engaged the most. We've extrapolated it out a little bit to taxes, and you can extrapolate it out indefinitely. But that's ultimately the main form of control. Our slavedom, if that's the right word, to money, and our absolute necessity to have it, to most of the time fill our lives with things like watches and iPhones and the things that we're told we need in order to communicate. I mean, I know that occasionally on these chats we get into whether or not things like iPhones and even the communication tool that we're using right now brings us closer together, or whether or not we have an innate ability to communicate regardless of this technology. Now, I know it's maybe not a debate that you want to get into, but it's an interesting subject when we talk about togetherness and community.
That's right.
You know,
But you know what? We could have all this technology without having to pay a single dime.
and
We could have everything that we could all get together as brothers and sisters and start sharing our knowledge. If let's say if I'm working at the power plant, hey, I know how to run it. I'm growing my own garden. I don't need to get paid to keep the lights on.
Mhm.
You know, there is a way when that's why it's so urgent to start helping people jump off the spinning ball, because you might get a pilot that say, hey, I'm not gonna chemtrail the skies anymore. Or you might get a soldier, hey, I'm not gonna press this button to destroy that village. Or you might get a drone operator that says, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna bomb that wedding. No, Obama, fuck you. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, this is exactly it. When people say, what does it matter? And when you know that the place is created and you put it as being watched. Now, I maybe don't necessarily agree with that, especially when you talk about things like vibrations, because Antonio will often describe things like thunder or electricity, as being one of the forces of God or one of the gods. And I kind of, that resonates with me, especially when you talk about vibration. It's a similar sort of idea. So it's one of those, when you say, is vibration and sound watching me? Well, no, but it's an absolute integral part of what we are and how we function.
Yeah, but like if you say, instead of is electricity watching me or is sound watching me, if instead you tweak the question to, does my consciousness have a sound, or does my consciousness have electricity? Then you start to think, wait a second, I don't even know what my consciousness is. So I
do know that, but that both are true.
Yes. So this is the thing: sound and electricity are true, and so is consciousness. So if we can't really describe the qualities of consciousness other than the experiential side, we don't know where it comes from or where it goes, and what vehicle, what avenue, what process it follows to go or come back or exist in the first place. We don't know this. Neuroscientists don't know this. Psychologists don't know this. Nobody knows this. You have people who have really good guesses that feel right, but they don't know those qualities. They only know that they have consciousness. So when we externalize it and say sound, external, lightning, electricity, external, then yeah, and this is for when you're describing external things, like if you're trying to describe the creator. But if you, instead of trying to describe the creator as something external, you try to describe it as similar to the qualities that your consciousness has, then you end up describing something ineffable that you can't quite describe. And maybe it's because it's the same thing or has the same qualities.
Unless you're told to anthropomorphize this idea, and then you end up with a man with a beard.
Yeah.
Anyway, there is this frequency C at 513, which is ABC, is 432, then B, then C at 513. They discovered that when you play C at 513, which is right here on the flute too, you will start seeing in a Tetra dish under a microscope microscopic fractal life appearing out of nothing.
Yeah.
So that is amazing how this sacred.
Can you hit that note? Can you play that note?
Yes. That's the one. Let me play you this one. That song is called "I Know Our Creator Lives."
Why does it feel like memories? It feels like memories. Like when you, at some point in your life, you catch a scent, a smell that just takes you back to some point, and you can't quite put your finger to what point, but you can put it to general what was going on. You know, maybe you were 5 or 4, or
Right.
it takes you there. These sounds have that effect.
That's right. That's why I highly recommend for you to start making those vibrations yourself. To embrace this new knowledge and to take back our world. It's been hijacked for some evil entities that hate this world completely. Something so demonic hates us.
So
hates the beauty of a flower, and oh my God.
Rene, the reason that I asked for a pipe from you is that I really like the gesture that you made it, first of all. And second, here where I live, you can go and you can play in the street. It's legal, okay? And I think if I play in the street, okay, people will stop and people will walk away. When they walk away, they will walk away a little bit changed. And this is why I want it. I don't want it to just have it on the shelf. I want it to go to have an effect on people.
If you're over here in California, come to my house, and we could have private lessons for you. Yeah, you could stay here.
It's going to happen sooner or later. It really is going to happen. I'm looking forward to it.
I would love to have you here visiting Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know when.
Maybe on that note, Rene, maybe a lot of people, including myself, won't know a great deal about you. Maybe you could give us a few details. I don't know how long you've got, by the way, but if you can tell us a bit about yourself and how you've, come to be so enlightened. I asked you earlier a little bit about how you came to Flat Earth, but just give us a bit of detail about yourself.
Well, yeah, if you Google my birthday, 10/2, 1965, and see my astrology chart, it's right on. It says that I'm a truth seeker, and that's part of my nature. And also, well, I'll tell you, I grew up with both of my grandmothers. One was very spiritual and one was very scientific. So I got both parts of nature, ground myself, and the fantasy world of materialism. So I'm always going back. The only thing that worked was what my grandmother told me in the natural world. The basic, always teaching me new talent, learning how to paint, learning how to put a brick, I grew up with doing a lot of work, singing to the flowers, and I believe that's the root of my being. That my grandmother really embraced the nature and how to care for the animals, that they have feelings, and there's a creator, and he's always there watching and protecting us. But that's my main thing, that we're all brothers and sisters, no matter what. And I grew up in Mexico City, and that city is called Tenochtitlan. And on the 21st of December, you see the rising of the sun out of the Popocatépetl from the top of the volcano on the 21st of December. And also on the 21st on first day of spring, there's a mountain next to the Popocatépetl called Iztaccíhuatl. And out of her womb, there comes the sun again. So it's a miraculous, because that culture really embraced the movement of everything, the music, and even they demonize the way we talk there. We talk in a singing way. When you talk, you're singing at the same time. Hola, mi amigo, ¿cómo estás, mamá? Te extraño mucho. And that's because we're singing. We gotta sing birds. We gotta talk with care, with compassion, with love to others. Look for somebody to help, and that's the way we are. We gotta help others. And well, if you want to know more into detail about my financial things and all of that, I'm just a humble caretaker.
No, not at all. I mean, what I do want to know is you said you're a truth seeker. How did you come to the truth about frequency and vibration, for instance?
Well, it's been little by little. Little by little, I like I said, one time I got really sick, and I got into the MMS protocol. And then I realized, my mind got cleared up, and I start seeing other people my age. Oh my God, these guys are falling apart. I gotta tell them, all the secrets. Hey, don't get vaccinated. I start waking up to all the 9/11 of the energy weapon they use there. Anyway, it's just an outrage. I feel that it's so evil what they're doing to all of us, what they're doing to our babies, what they're doing in our educational system, what they're doing to our military, our soldiers. I mean, I think we need to convert all weapons into agricultural tools, and we just need to go do a 180-degree turn.
Do you know what, Rene? I'm convinced that this is going to happen. I really am, because you have a unit like the military, and what can the military do? They can destroy things very quickly, sure, but they can also build things very quickly. Let's remember, what happens is the infantry gets there, and then the engineers get there to set up the infrastructure. It's the Army Corps of Engineers that set things up so that the army can carry on progressing. They're very good at building things quickly. So when you have a disaster, a natural disaster, the normal human beings, just, not affiliated to any army group, will go and shift things. But then the army will arrive and start to shift things. And you can see what can be done in unity. So,
that's right. We could build ring cities following the sun on the ocean. We could do amazing things for humanity if we all get together and really start wasting money on NASA and JPL, on all those space agencies, and on wars. We could really start building real bridges so nobody gets run over, and bring real communication to our world, real solutions, and end hunger, and grow everything organic. We need to disassemble Monsanto. We need to disassemble all those agencies, and just bring about a better world. Bring back the glory of this world. I mean, I want to grow trees that you can live on them. You can live beautiful. I love that. No forest on flat earth, or no oxygen on flat earth. Yeah, we used to have a beautiful world, and somebody destroyed it. and the destruction continues.
Yeah, we can definitely witness this happening right now. But what we can also witness is something that's can be turned on its head, which is when you talk about the evil powers, the people that are conning us and lying to us. Well, they're just men too. And if you think about it, they've perpetrated a great deception. You know, they've come up with some amazing stories, some amazing maths to back up and convince the entire plane that they live on a spinning ball. Well, this is just done by men. Well, we're just men. We can achieve great things. They don't have to be evil. They don't have to be deceptive. So we can do similar things that will work towards good, will work towards things being more positive and beneficial to all. So we can look to the people that have deceived us and say, well, look what they've achieved and they're on the path to horribleness. We're on the path to good. I'm sure we'll do better.
Do you know, with the infantile mind, as people start to look into the dark conspiracies, okay, is usually it's accompanied by a kind of infantile mentality, which is, why doesn't somebody fix this?
Sorry, just explain, Antonio, what the dark conspiracies are. I know you know and I know, and probably Rene knows.
Yeah, so chemtrails, fluoride, toxic food, toxic medicine, all kinds of, and that's just things that are in your environment. Then there are actions that are toxic, not just the people doing the putting in on the fluoride or the chemtrailing. But so there are dark conspiracies that people call evil, and that's a really good way of describing these things because we know immediately what this means. So when people start looking into conspiracies or seeing conspiracies, it's almost like there's you're looking first of all from the globe, and on the globe other people can fix things, and from certain religions other deities can fix things. And lots of the religions say at some point an action will be taken by a deity that will fix things. And then in other cultures you have people saying, we don't have a deity that's going to come and fix everything, we had better make things run well. And to those two, it's like, we are the people that we've been waiting for. When we looked at the conspiracies and we said, somebody should stop this, who could stop this? Well, the person is you. You can stop this. I can stop this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know, I'm not going to knock you in the way you're putting it, but Rene put it a lot nicer when he was saying, well, you can pick up the hammer. You know, well, you can take that a step further and say, well, you can pick up the hammer and smash everything. Or you can put nails into things and build things. And
yeah, or you can, it's as simple as understanding, like, yes, with great power comes great responsibility. And
with great responsibility comes great power.
Yes, so with great responsibility comes great power, and with great power comes great potential for corruption. Much better to have a little bit of power, a little bit of responsibility, and everybody share this. This is how the bridges that are made out of spun grass.
No, damn it! I want lightning coming out of my fingers.
No, but the truth is, these grass bridges that you have in South America and in East Asia, you have these grass bridges. Okay, they're built by a load of people, all of which are just doing a small portion, singing, chatting, and then the people who are very skilled. Yeah, so you don't have to think of some entity coming and imposing something as an external thing. If an entity is going to impose something, it's going to use whatever mechanisms it wants, whatever vehicles it wants, and that might be you. It might be you. It might be as simple as you telling your neighbor who has a cough, hey, have you heard about colloidal silver? Here, I've made some for you. Or something else, and
stop selling stuff. No more promotion.
Okay, no, but just a small action, like Rene has mentioned MMS. Okay, if anybody in the chat doesn't go and look up MMS, which has been prompted by Rene mentioning it, so Rene has just had an impact. People will go look up MMS. Some people will go and engage with it. Some people will find that their crystal clear thinking that they think they have now will become real crystal clear thinking after the MMS protocol. So it's as simple sometimes as just voicing things, because let's face it, sounds create things, and you can create action in other people. This is how the media works.
Nick from Phuket World gave a really nice example, because there's that statue of Buddha. He said that people will come along and lay a tile, you know, but the guy who's orchestrated that is obviously really pleased with himself, but he's one man that's sort of brought together the people, and something has manifested. But in literal terms, people have physically done stuff for that to be manifested.
There's a temple in Kashmir where people every single day, every meal, so lunch and the main meals of the day are completely free to everyone who lives in that locality. Everybody eats for free. And what people do is they donate. You might take a handful of rice, or you might take a bag of rice. Everything is donated. Now, in this temple, all the cooking is done for free, all the cleaning is done for free. The food is going to be beautiful because it's been made with such intent. Everybody, the businessman, the pauper, everybody can enjoy these meals for free continuously. It goes on continuously. There's no taxes, there's no payment, there's nothing in terms of what's required of you. You can eat and go and not clean your dish if you want, okay? And this thing works. Now, part of the reason this thing works is that they have a scroll that has some scripture in it that nobody can read, that lives there. It lives in a little gazebo there, and they move it and they put it in the center at lunchtime, and everybody eats, wondering what's written in there. Now, this is a brilliant magic trick, because that scroll, it doesn't matter what it says. The point of whoever thought of this scroll was to have this situation where people feed each other for free. It's brilliant. You can do magic tricks. You don't even understand the magic tricks, like smiling at someone and cheering that person up, or giving them a hug, and it's nothing to you, but you don't know the impact that it has. So
I can see you smiling away there, Rennie.
Anyway, well, that's why it's imperative that we help as many people as possible, because what does the spinning ball is doing to them? They're not connected to the spinning wall. They know that. They're not. I mean, I used to be a globaler, you know, thinking, oh wow, if I take off, if I ever go to the moon, I will have to compensate because the Earth is also moving, so I have to follow the Earth. It's mind-boggling. What a nonsense they put us into. So we need to really reconnect and teach people, listen, that spinning ball's not going to take you anywhere. You're not going to go to another planet. Let's take care of this planet first. Let's become brothers and sisters again. Let's bring our communities back together and stop the nonsense. You know, that political circus of the democracy and Republicans is all a big game, and we need to ignore all of that and concentrate on real issues of when we're going to start growing. I'm getting ready my soil to grow for potatoes and peas and yams, and you know, to get to the real practical things that we need to do in this plane of existence. Mm-hmm. Spinning ball and teach our children. Like I said, we need to start a new educational system. And if we need to bombard our leaders with flat earth videos, you know, if they want to be part of it, fantastic. They can help in the transition, you know, changing all our textbooks and really focus humanity in real growth. And the goal is to bring some type of avatar type of world here. We all understand. Talk to animals without. Do they have a conscious? And you know, define our world of what we really are here for, and know that there's a creator. We did not come from the chimps, and to really make everybody feel special and empower them. That's the word. We need to empower every single human being. When you see a drunk person, tell them, hey, no, brother, come here. Let me get you back in track. Let me teach you how to. Let's eat some fruit. Let me hydrate you with real potato, with real fruit. Let's get you back on track. Let's clean you up. It helps some
We're losing what you're saying, unfortunately, Rennie. We're getting a lot of wind noise and background noise and stuff. I don't know if you're by a door or something.
I think
I
it's
know
a
I have to
plane.
open the window because my phone is getting so hot.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're doing for time. I don't know if you wanted to round up there. I know you've got you're clutching your flute.
I gotta go back to check on some workers, and they're fixing something back there, and it was so nice for you guys to have me.
Renee, if it's okay with you, we can talk again maybe next week, the week after, some other time. You know,
I would like you to be part of the next class. I'm gonna have a class on the 24th for children on how to use the Astrolabe.
okay.
So we guys can be part of the class and see how I demonstrate that.
Cool. Yeah, that would be really cool. What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, for sure. That sounds great. Is there any chance before you do go that you can play for us just one last time? I don't know if you can close your window. I know it's probably really hot in there, but if me and Antonio will mute.
Mm-hmm.
One more. This is when I think about my mother. Here, this one. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. And with that, I will say a massive thank you and to all the complimenters who have been putting in their wonderful words to you, Renee. Thank you to all of you who have joined us live on this special musical Mechanics of the Fourth Wall. So thank you very much for joining us, Renee. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you, Nathan. We'll see you soon. Hope to see you in California soon.
Hopefully so. And as always, thank you very much, Antonio.
Yeah,
Take care, guys.
great. It's been great.
It's
Renee, we'll talk to you on Facebook later.
So once again, thank you to all of you for joining us live. I've been Nathan Oakley. I will see you all in the next video.